Hello everybody, welcome back to the Unfan Podcast. More familiar surroundings today as I'm going to be doing my predictions for Euro 2020 that kicks off on Friday, and I'm extremely excited for it. Not going to mess about really, we're going to get straight into it. Please make sure you subscribe and leave a like on this episode of the podcast. I've done lots of content building up to the tournament I'm so excited about. Please make sure you check that out if you haven't already. And yeah, subscribe and leave a like. Consider doing that. That'd be much appreciated. It helps grow and develop my podcast, which is something I'm really passionate to do. So please do consider doing that. And that way also, if you hit notification bell, you won't miss an episode of the podcast. We're going to be bringing out regularly throughout the summer. Live stuff and of course recorded ones like this. So yeah, you definitely don't want to miss out on that. Not going to mess about. Straight into the predictor today. We're going to use the official UEFA predictor. It's a pretty simple website that pretty much gets it done in a more simple but effective way. It's a pretty simple way of looking at it, but it works a great job. So I thought, let's not try anything different. I know a lot of people have done their predictions and they've used this, so I thought, let's crack on and do it like they have done. Also, again, I know a lot of people have done, like I've said, but a lot of people have different opinions on it as well. I know a lot of people get a little bit touchy about their nations, maybe people predicting them to come worse than you maybe think they will. Understand, none of us can tell the future, and if we could, we'd buy the winning lottery ticket. So this is a prediction. We're looking at face value. We're looking at squad value, really. So we do apologise, or I do apologise for sure, if I am maybe predicting your team to not do as well as you think you can do, and I hope really that your nation can shock and surprise Europe this summer. So I thought I put that out as a little bit of a disclaimer, but you can see on the screen right now we're going to start off with Group A, and yeah, again, a lot of people have different reasonings as to who they think will do well in this competition, and probably will have their opinions on who you think will be the shocks and will be the surprises of this competition. But for me, I think Italy are going to top this group. I think they've got a very good squad. Their recent years, they've sort of fallen off as a country and as a nation in these major tournaments, but I think they are going to be back this year. Maybe not winning the competition, but certainly they've integrated some new exciting players, has Mancini, and I think that's going to be an exciting team to look out for. Second, I've gone with Turkey, a surprise package, I think, in this competition. Some really good players. If you want to know about all of these different nations in more detail, definitely make sure you check out my latest episode of the podcast. Actually, no, it won't be the latest one. It'll be the one before the latest one. The latest one was the fantasy team. The one before that is everything you need to know about every country competing in Euro 2020. So make sure you check that out if you want to know into more detail about these squads. I will be sort of briefly touched on that, but not as in depth as I did in that podcast episode. But Turkey, they got some good players. Quite a young squad, quite a young defence. Sayuncu being their sort of, being their experienced defender. He's only 23, 24, so it shows the quality of players, but the age of those players. But they've got a really good 35-year-old Lille striker who's 35. So they have got a young squad, but they've also balanced that out with some really expensive, experienced older players, should I say, as well. But Turkey, I think, are going to finish second. For me, Wales are going to finish third, and I think Switzerland will going to finish fourth. That's what I've gone with. That's Group A for me and my predictions there. For Group B, then, I think Belgium are going to finish top of the group. They've got fantastic players. They've got the De Bruynes, they've got the Hazards, they've got the Lukakus, and again, defensively as well, they've got some good players. You talk about the Alderweirelds, and in goal, they've got a great goalkeeper in Courtois, and loads more as well that I haven't already mentioned in that midfield and defence and attack. Some great players there. Maybe not the sort of Belgian side that we've seen in recent competitions with that sort of squad. I don't think it's far off. I think we have got a very good, exciting squad at Belgium, and to see at Belgium, but yeah, I think they're going to finish the group and finish top of this group pretty comfortably. In second, I'm going to go with Denmark. I think they're a very good side. I think they could end up being another team to watch out for. You look at the likes of Christian Eriksen, he's a bit of a standout player, but they've got others as well. The centre-back Anderson from Fulham, he's had a very good year for them. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the squad, and lots of others as well. So I think Denmark are going to finish second. Other than that, we go third. I'm probably going to go with Russia. Pretty good World Cup when they hosted it. I say pretty good. I think they got to the quarterfinals. For them, that's a very good achievement. And again, that doesn't sound patronising. Hopefully it doesn't come across patronising, because Russia, again, they're a very big country in the geography side of things. But generally, as a footballing nation, they haven't been as big as their sort of size of the country looks at, but generally they have done very well in the last major tournament, and hopefully for them in Europe this year they can perform. Fourth, I've gone with Finland. I think that's where they're going to finish. Unfortunately, any Finland fans have upset there. I think that's where I'm going to put them. So in Group C, you can already see I've put them there. Netherlands and Austria. I think they're going to finish first and second of the group. Netherlands, quality players, Wijnaldum's, Depay's, De Ligt, some fantastic players that we know in that Dutch squad. Austria as well, I've just seen them play a warm-up game against England. They look like a very, very organised side. And they look like they've got some great players. The David Alabas, of course, of the Austria national team. Really excited to see Austria play in the tournament. I think they're going to finish second. I'm then going to go with Ukraine, and I'm then going to go with North Macedonia. In Group D then, the big one, the English, or the England group, the Group D. Scotland, England, Croatia and Czech Republic all in that group. Who do I think are going to top the group? My heart says England. My head, I guess, also does say England, but it's very, very close in my head towards Croatia as well. They've got some fantastic players, and they are going to be an extremely difficult team to beat come the Euros and come that first group game, of course, on Sunday, which I am going to be doing a live match reaction for straight after the game. Make sure you come on there and check that out. I've got a few guests actually coming into the studio, coming into the into the studio, into the podcast as well. They are coming into the squad, but not in that way. Scotland, England, Croatia, Czech Republic, top of the group. I'm going to go with England. I'm going with my gut. I'm going to go with England. Croatia definitely going to come second. Then Scotland coming in third. They got some good players. And Czech Republic. Apologies to any Czech Republic fans, but I'm going to go with them coming bottom of the group and coming fourth. In Group E then, we've got Poland, Spain, and Sweden and Slovakia. I think Spain are going to top the group. They've got some good players. They're in a bit of a transition sort of period as a national team. But again, there's no doubt there's some fantastic players there. Some high quality players there. The likes of Pedri, the likes of Busquets. The likes of Laporte, of course, he changed his nation from France to Spain, from French to Spanish. So they have got some good players. There are no Real Madrid players in their squad, though, of course, the big point when we talk about Spain. But I think they're going to have enough to top Group E. I think Poland are going to finish second. I think Sweden are going to finish third. And I think Slovakia are going to finish fourth. But it's close between Sweden and Slovakia. I'm going to do a last-minute change because Zlatan Ibrahimovic pulled out, of course, wasn't able to due to injury. Came out of international duty to go and play for Sweden in the Euros, then got injured, so he can't play. So I think Slovakia are going to finish third, and then Sweden are going to finish fourth. I know Sweden have got some good players like Forsberg, for example, but I think Slovakia, they're going to finish third for me. Final group then, Group F, the group of death. The team, obviously Group D, as an England fan, whatever happens, whether we finish first or second, we've got to play the runner-up or the winner of Group F, which is not ideal. It's going to be very, very difficult. And it is an extremely, extremely difficult group to predict. But I'm going to go with France topping the group. I'm going to go with Portugal coming second. I'm going to go with Germany coming third and Hungary coming fourth. I think France have got a great squad. The depth, the actual quality in their squad, there's no doubt they're going to be a real favourite for the competition. Portugal as well, some great players there. Germany as well. Maybe not the Germany we've seen in the World Cup winning Germany from what, 8 years ago now. But, as well, they've got some very, very good players. It's Lau's last tournament as a German manager. He's going to want to go off in a bang. He's going to go off in style. And, he's going to want to put in a good tournament for them. And, of course, Hungary are in that group as well. I think Hungary might shock us, but it's going to have to be a real shock to get out of that group. I know some third-place teams do go through the competition. We'll come to that in a minute. But, of course, you've got Hungary who, again, have got to beat one of those teams, or two of those teams probably, to have any chance of coming third. So it's not easy for Hungary at all. So now if we predict the four best third place teams, that has got to come into consideration. What will come into consideration is probably the results against the other teams, and also goal difference, all those different things, goals scored. And again, it probably will also come down to who has got the easiest group. I say that in inverted commas because we say easiest group, but in major tournaments, like I said, is there an easy group really? I'm going to go with, we look at Wales' group, maybe. I might go with Russia, because I think Russia might get out of that group. They might surprise us. Denmark might not do as well as I think they might. I think Germany definitely will. I think Germany will finish third. So I think they've got a great side, a great squad that I think will definitely progress out of the group with their form, and they probably are one of the four best third place teams that I've predicted. So what, two more? I'm probably going to go with Scotland. I want to maybe say Scotland, but are they going to beat either England or Croatia? Maybe. So I might go with Scotland, and then I might go, and I think I'm going to go with Wales. I think that's what we're going to go with. That's all of the UK teams, all of the British teams coming out there. That's Wales, England, and Scotland. I've predicted all to qualify through to the knockouts, which is very interesting. Let's continue. Let's get through to the knockouts. So, first knockout game, the first round of 16 clash. We've got Belgium versus Scotland. I think Belgium are going to progress through there. I'm not going to lie to you. Again, Scotland might surprise us. Scotland might come out and do a great job. I don't know. They might. But, I think Belgium have got some fantastic players. I think they definitely will progress through. And probably will beat Scotland in that round of 16 game. So, Italy versus Austria then. Who do I think are going to progress through there? I'm going to go Italy, which obviously does make a very interesting clash in the quarterfinals, seeing Belgium go to Italy. We'll come on to that, of course, in a minute. But Italy against Austria, I said Austria are a very, very well-organised side, but I think Italy are the better side. I think they're going to progress through there. France versus Russia. Russia could pull off a blinder in this one, but I think France are going to progress. They're a real team and a real force this competition, as I've already mentioned. Croatia against Poland. That could be a tight game, Poland could surprise a few people. I think they probably will be seen as the underdogs in that game. Croatia, of course, the finalists of the World Cup. But I'm going to go with Croatia, and that obviously does see the repeat of the final, France versus Croatia, in the quarterfinals. The next round of 16 game then sees Spain face Wales, and I'm going to go with Spain there. Apologies to any Welsh fans. I am going to be rooting for Wales and Scotland in this competition. Obviously not as much as England, but I will be looking out for them. But I think Spain, they're going to have to pull off a real, really good result to beat Spain. Even though, like I said, Spain aren't the team that they used to have been. But I do think out of those two, Spain will progress. Here we go then, Italy versus Portugal. I don't know about this one. I think it's going to be very, very difficult. I think it's going to be a really difficult game if this is the actual draw, England versus Portugal. If we top the group and Portugal comes second, this will actually be the round of 16 game that we see in this tournament. I can easily see Portugal beat England, but with the squad, if we play the right team, if Gareth Southgate selects the right players and plays the right way, I think we can and will beat Portugal. But this is so important that we do that. So I am going to predict England to come through, but not as a delusional England fan, because taking my sort of England hat away from it, we've got to look at it in the sense that if we don't play the right way and Gareth doesn't set the team up in the right way, we won't win that game. I think it's important that fans and as people that watch this maybe aren't English understand that. I'm not just saying it because I'm an England fan, and I'll be straight honest and be open. If we don't play the way, Portugal will easily beat us. I've seen us against the two warm-up games. We weren't very, very good. We don't really offer that creativity, and we're going to have to against Portugal if we're going to go through there. Full England preview sort of coming soon, where I go into more detail about that coming forward and going forward as we come closer to the Euros. But there, if we play the right way, I think England will progress and get past Portugal. Just though, it's going to be a tight game. I can see it go to penalties, extra time. It's going to be so tight. Netherlands, Germany then, that's a difficult one. Oh, that is a really hard one. Really, really difficult one there. I know Netherlands have just seen Donny van der Beek go off and go out and whether be withdrawn from the tournament for injury. He's going to be a big miss there. I'm going to go with... It's a 50-50. It really, really is. But I'm going to go with Germany. I'm going to go with Germany there. Turkey versus Denmark. I'm going to see Turkey go through, which then sets us up now for our quarterfinals. Belgium versus Italy in our first quarter-final. I think Italy are going to go through. I do think they are. I think Italy are a very good team to watch out for. I think Italy are going to progress. France versus Croatia. I think it's going to be France. I think they're going to repeat what happened in the final of the World Cup. Spain versus England. I actually think for England this will be I know it's a major tournament curse, I'm going to say this, but an easier game than Portugal. I think Portugal's going to be such a difficult game. I think Spain will be a difficult game, don't get me wrong, a very difficult game. But in comparison to who I'd rather see us play, Portugal versus Spain, who I think will play better against and win, I think it probably will be Spain. So I think I'm going to say that we beat Spain, getting us into the semi-final. Turkey versus Germany. I can see Germany going through there, which sets up a semi-final of Italy versus Italy, France, and England, Germany. What a interesting semi-final that would be. And I'm going to see France go through against Italy. And I want to say England. I'm going to go with England. But it's going to be so difficult. Again, Germany are a team to really watch out for. But then it easily could be that Turkey beat Germany. And then that could be the semi-final. But I'm going to go with the France-England final. I know it's definitely the final that a lot of people have predicted. I know a lot of people have predicted England to win it. And I know a lot of people that have predicted France to win it as well, because I think France are the favourites and would be the favourites in this game. You look at the squad, you look at the depth of those players. I know England have got depth, but look at France's depth and look at the quality of player they've got. Even though England have got that, but France take that to a new level, I think. So again, my heart says England. Everything about me says England, but it's a prediction. We've got to be fair. We've got to look at it, in the most methodical and logical way, should I say, which means that France will be crowned champions of the Euros this summer. That's my predictions. Give your predictions in the comments down below. I've been intrigued to see yours. I've hopefully give decent reasoning as to why. I do apologise if I predict your team not to do as well as you hope them to do. Hopefully your club, or not your club, sorry, your country surprises this tournament. I'm so looking forward to it. This Friday it all kicks off. Italy against Turkey in the first game of this competition. I'm so excited for it. Make sure, like I said, you give your predictions in the comments down below as well. Subscribe and leave a like on the channel. So much content coming your way surrounding the European Championships this summer. I've been Jack. It's been the Unfan Podcast. This has been my Euro 2020 predictor. See you in a bit. Take care.